18 rings, 6 coins to my name, but with 18 rings then I can change the game. Flip them over, turn them around. Oh shit, look, I turned them into a crown. Make it dance, make it work for you. Coin is for the spending, if you scatter it then you'll reap the profits of the seeds you've sown. What do you know, look, I turned it into a throne. We do what we do to keep the water flowing. The more you give, the more it keeps growing. I don't want your gifts, I don't want your charity, I just want to see some other love and prosperity. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. I make my living by the sweat of my brow, the strength of my voice and my lyrical know-how. I work hard, I spend freely. I'm not rich, but damn, am I dearly placed to think of virtue and preach it to the masses. The fruits of my labor I use to fill glasses. Life is for the living is the message I'm selling. The scent of success is the aroma you're smelling. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. Hold fast, 'cause it might sound funny, but the truth is wealth's not just about money. It's the push and the pull and the give and the take. It's the things that we share and the joy that we make. Give me your attention, I'll give you my time. Lend me your ears and I'll fill them with rhymes. I'll give you words to make your soul burn and take your breath away in return. Yeah. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning round. If the water won't flow, then the crops don't grow, so the wheel keeps turning round. The wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps turning.
Right, hopefully you can all hear me. We're all here. I'm beardless, like someone without a beard. So nice and easy. There's reasons behind this. We'll go into that later. But yeah, we hear you. Good. Level 2 hype train. That's amazing. People have done things. I can see Ryan. I think I saw Ben, and I saw Liam. So that's awesome. Hello everybody. Hello chat. Much love to you all. So E4 happened, and fuck me, what an event that was. That was insane. I think to say I hit the ground running was an understatement. It certainly happened. Yeah. I think I found my form again. I'm involved in everything now. Literally pretty much everything going on in Wintermark, I am now involved with. It's wonderful. There'll be lots of stuff that people know about the last event that I'm not going to go into here because I need things to be sorted and 100%ed and that. So probably going to look quite like, that's all good, mate. I can understand. That's fine. We're here. If you want to take the piss, feel free. We're all here. But yeah, what an event. Cold. Really cold. What the hell happened? Snow. Fuck me. I'm amazed I don't look like a lobster. I really I thought I was going to die. But we can work our way through everything. So today I had a chill, I had a bath, I had a shave. Because with everything that's gone in my life, I needed to turn over a new leaf. And I had so much energy at this event. I'm so positive about everything. So I'm taking advantage. I've done exercise, I've done weights, and sorted my shit out. So yeah, hopefully this will lead on to bigger, better things. The fact that we didn't actually die is astounding. Yeah, very much so. Confusing the hot sun with the cold sun again. I know. It's a terrible, terrible thing. But yeah. So where to start? We have the wonderful, the handsome Al with us. And
how you doing, mate? You all right?
nah.
Still recovering from the heat.
I am. I'm recovering from the event. Like Helen said today. She said she went to work. She doesn't know how she got there. She literally autopilot all the way there. She just didn't concentrate at all. She's just
it's one of those bizarre things that, you know, for the amount of time that I spend over the weekend sitting down and eating cheese, to be this drained and exhausted afterwards, my brain just switches off for a good couple of days.
Yeah. Did you go into work? Did you do any work today, or were you off?
No. I took some time. I got today and tomorrow to just chill and process what my event contained and just relax and not have to worry, which is a bit of a treat, a cheeky treat for myself.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go through a few because I hate Streamlabs so much. No, this is I'm back on ABS. What am I doing that for? Anyway, I was so tempted to hop on a train last minute Thursday. Then my mum says if you do, your arm more damage as it heals. Work's not going to keep you on, and I was like, okay, that's a good point. But big sad, I missed a lot. You did miss a lot of stuff. But your health is more important than a game. Always, Liam. Always. If you're putting anything before your health... No, wait a minute. I'm really shit example for that. Considering I turned up to Empire, 2 weeks after I'd had surgery. So yeah, ignore me. But your health is more important. It really is, mate. It really, really is. Yeah, thank you for the hype train stuff. That's awesome. But no, your mum was right. You'll get E1 and you will catch up and you will be involved. I promise you.
Yep, there'll always be more events.
Yeah, always. Left the event with so much keen for E1. Yeah, I know you had a good one, Panda. Hey Kit, how you doing? I saw you Kit and Rob have done takedown today at site. So they're both crew.
You do the hard work.
Yeah, they really do. Well, Kit doesn't. Kit's a camp planner.
Oh, well.
He stands there and gets told by Rosemary what goes on. No, I'm joking.
To respect the camp planners. That's a thankless job if ever there was one.
Really is. Yeah. It really is. Yeah, I talk to James a lot. He, they get nothing. They really do get nothing. So
it's even like the camp planners for the marches where I played in. They were part of our banner, and at any point in the weekend they're trying to have a sit down, trying to take a load off, get out the sun, anything like that, and they're being pulled away left, right and centre, all the way up and down the hill, for this thing, that thing. So big love to camp planners.
Cause I bumped into Triz, the Brass Coast camp planner, and because he came over to us. Oh dear. Wife, if you're watching, could you come in and plug in my laptop? Because my laptop's here, and the battery pack goes all the way over to the plug over the other side of the sofa. Because it's just started beeping at me saying my battery's running low. I hope she's watching. She is watching! Woo!
Hooray! A wild Helen appeared.
Yeah, she's just wandered round. No, it's just follow the cable. It's on the sofa. Thank you, Hern. Love you. Everyone needs a Helen.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I forgot everything I was saying. But yeah, so thank you, Hern. Poke your tongue out at me. How dare you? So rude. I deserve it. Yeah, so he came over to me, and he did say that it was literally got out of the nation, and he wasn't being pestered.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
it. When it gets to the point where you have to literally run away.
yeah. Oh, very much so. Very, very much so. I should have changed my T-shirt. I realised. So everyone who's noticed, I'm wearing like a T-shirt that's about like 2 sizes too big for me because I want to be comfortable.
Right.
Brandon says I should have taken the day off work. The version of me that was still a wizard was not prepared to do office work. Yeah.
Yeah, running into the field and casting Mass XL is not the same.
Oh, Vazi. Thanks for all the Steelstorm stuff. Grim and everyone really appreciated the advice IC and OC. That's a story in itself. We'll come to that. So, but I will say Steelstorm are like my LARP kids.
Okay.
I've known them all since they were like 17 in the field and really drunk. They
the
are.
only way to be.
Well, they are great. They are. I've got so much time for them all. I really do.
Yeah.
I think I would literally drop everything in that field if they came over and said they needed help. I would just wander up and just be there for them.
You're right.
Right. Hey, Mike. Hey, Alex. How you doing? Cheesemonger. They're all talking about cheese in chat now.
Oh, see, I've started the cheese chat early. Once you get on cheese chat, then there's no getting off.
Yeah. Hi, Rob. I hope you're doing all right. And there's Beth. Yeah, we're going to get onto the Mythril, man. Don't worry. We'll get onto the Mythril. The positives and the horrific negatives of what happened there.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a good one. 5 extra holidays, plan to go a few player events. That's good stuff, Liam. Helen saves the day. F for the Mythril, man. Yeah. I think, well, what we should probably do is, I'll just go through. Whiskey Viking, I've taken the advice and forced all my group into a meeting. Excellent, good. That was part of the advice I gave them.
More meetings, more good.
Yeah, very much so. Right, chat is caught up. So we'll start with the Mythril man, shall we?
I think he's the biggest topic that the Empire's ever seen.
Yeah, was weird.
Considering how close it was to timeout, like how close to the end of the event it all kicked off, it must have literally been in the last half an hour.
Yeah, it literally was. And that mob walked around. I didn't realise how much I loved Mythril Man. Overshadowed the throne. Oh yeah, I forgot we've got a new empress.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, no, we'll get onto it. It's fine.
Yeah,
We're doing the important stuff first.
Well, no, let's face it. No one gives a shit. No one cares. But yeah. Hey Maury, how you doing? That was hard. I was a bit shocked when I saw the entire mob. Must have been like 30 odd people. Marching around up to Navarre.
Well, it was because so the Mythril Man was in the marches, as I say, about half hour before timeout. Because you can't help but notice him. So we knew he was there.
No.
And some people were doing some trading with him right up in the top far corner by the gate that goes out. Right in the top far corner, some people were bartering out bits and bobs, kind of end of the year bits. And then we're sort of hanging around, and it's getting to the point we're having our final muster, where we kind of round up the business of the event.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, out of our library, out of the Winnow Reed library, dragged a couple of Varushkans.
So you saw the end of it then?
Yeah, we see that they're dragged off. The hue and cry is called to a bunch of marchers, run in the tent, grab everyone, and they're all hauled off into the distance.
Yeah, because I saw the beginning of it.
Appearing after the event.
Yeah, so the mob, they marched all the way around. They went up to Navarre past us, and I was like, out there, like, what the hell's going on? And they were like, the Mythril Man's been murdered. And so I was like, oh shit. And I went, good. I started clapping my hands and walked off. And then it's just sort of like, you get that moment of, oh, right, good. And then you're just like, well, maybe not so good. Because you think that's someone so well known and it's become a staple in the play. I've spoken to him so much because he comes over and spends time at the food bit. Every time he walks past, he comes and picks up a little pastry and stuff like that off a rabbit stool.
Yeah. That's it.
But yeah, like 30, then they went up into Navarre, and then they wandered back down, and they were told, no, it's a winter marker. And I was just like, yeah, because Navarre winter marker, what's the difference there? Right. Trying to provoke a little bit of role play from them, but they weren't having it. And they just kept on screaming, and then they went, oh no, it was someone in the Brass Coast. So they must have gone to the Brass Coast next, and then probably got told, no, it was a marcher.
Yeah.
And then back up to that was when they found them up there. Then
found them hiding in the marches, but they weren't. Yeah,
it wasn't a march; it was a Varushkin.
Varushkin, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So,
but so I had very much a similar reaction where I was like, well, that's not the worst news I've ever heard, but it's because it's all this time I've spent in military council, and you're trying to sit there and listen to people's very detailed numbers and calculations going on. Oh, we need to send 4,000 troops there because then that beats the weight ratio for this, and blah blah blah. And all you can hear in the background is lilting, songful voice cutting through this deep strategy of how we are going to finally beat the Valorn, or whatever's going down. Yeah, so not having that. Wonderful.
No. Where's Steve? Who's this fresh-faced youth? I know, Pat. I know. Need to petition Murder Alley to be... Yes, yeah. Petition Murder Alley to be renamed Mythril Alley to gentrify it further.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the whole mob thing was interesting. It doesn't take 30 people to get one person arrested.
No.
And also to hear that the person in question was massively freaking out OC. And because they actually thought they were going to get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not great. Really not great. I think people need to take great for the role play, but realise it has an effect.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the people leading that mob need to have a bit of a look at themselves.
Well, I wondered if people were joining the mob because, perhaps they had a deep appreciation for Mythril Man and, the fan club was up in arms. Or perhaps they had a devotion to justice and loyalty and, vigilance. Or if they went, so you mean the man that carries around big bags of highly valuable resources and lots and lots and lots of money's been shivved somewhere in the field? I'm going to go to where we're going to find out where that was and be very, very vigilant.
So vigilant.
So vigilant.
Richly vigilant.
Grass.
Richly vigilant.
Yes, I will join this angry mob.
Yeah.
Hi,
Zydor. Hope you're good. I hope you're good. I think Zydor's coming to Empire next year. I think he's planning on it.
Very cool.
I think...
Good luck to your bank account.
Yeah. I think he lives in Sweden, I want to say. And he's driving.
It's going to be a very wet drive.
Yeah. He seems confident. I look forward to meeting the guy. We've had long chats. It's been really cool.
Fair play.
People did take it a bit far, but also if you're anxious, maybe Murder Game is not the right choice of game for them. Yeah.
There were
Sweden, yes.
A surprising amount of murders this event, though. Like more murders in this event than I think there have been in the last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely. Some did say that he's someone who's seen on the regular in such a part of the animal scenery, hearing something happened to have shocked them. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, Empire is meant to be a fest LARP where murder is difficult and rare. Yeah, I know that. It's just, I think, I mean, being anxious or not is fine. But I don't think having people come and screaming at you and standing around you and pushing and shoving is the way to go.
Yeah.
Though,
sure.
I mean, I have anxiety and all of that, but I've still murdered more people than anyone ever in this game. So, but I just think there's ways and means of doing it, and I think we've got that. It's like, right, we found the person. We'll stand outside the tent. They can stay in there.
Yep.
Some person go in just to go, are you all right?
That's it.
And if they go, no, there's too many people here, then just come out and go, look, can some of you fuck off? Okay.
Yeah.
The militia are on their way. It'll get dealt with. And then they literally forced the execution as well, didn't they? There and then.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, my attitude to it is very much like if you're doing or you're a part of something that you would be uncomfortable with outside of LARP in an everyday situation, if it would make you feel uncomfortable, checking in is very big and clever.
Yeah.
You know, if you wouldn't go out into the street and start chasing people around and you know, forming an angry mob, or you wouldn't want that to happen to you, just say, just you know, just giving the thumbs up and the nod of the head and, you know, are you all good? It's not, you know, people aren't going to kick off for it.
The social contract says it's fine, but common decency and the rules say we should check in when doing hostile roleplay.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. I think common decency is a big thing, and yeah, I hope that the player in question comes back and isn't put off by it.
Yeah, I hope so.
I do hope so. So,
you know, whichever way you look at it, whether you're the Mithril Man or a member of the mob or us chatting about it, you know, it's all game for people. And, you know, I'm sure there are going to be groups of people starting bodyguarding companies, or, you know, you have to double think about where you're traveling to and what times you're doing it at, where your meetings is, you know, it's game for everyone. It's going to change the landscape, you know, in any decision that people make is going to change something to any degree. So,
yeah,
you know, hopefully they realise that it is all role play, and though things can get a bit intimidating at times and a bit sort of emotionally heavy, it is it's nothing personal, or shouldn't be.
They've posted they're coming back as a bodyguard.
That's probably a good idea.
Someone tell them I'll give them a job. That's nice, Bolam. That's cool.
Yeah, that's good news.
This has been a. I did love that it completely overshadowed the throne election completely.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it goes to show as players that the throne doesn't really mean that much anymore to us.
Well, the throne thing was quite interesting from what I've heard, because, you know, naturally word travels quickly enough. So we had someone run up and say, "Yeah, we've got an empress elect," and no one seems to certainly no one that I was around recognised the name.
No.
But from what I've heard, and obviously I've got a fairly Marcher-centric point of view, but it was the Marcher senators that swung the vote. It was a case of they heard out everyone's things, had a chat amongst themselves, looked at the way the voting was going, and although perhaps not all the senators for the Marchers it might not have been their first choice candidate, or they may have had other preferences, they agreed I believe, that this candidate was better than no candidate. So joined hands, and all hands went up. That's it, and swung it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think that's an interesting way to get a new person in. Hopefully it works out. But all I know is that there'll be a lot of pressure on them now, not just in game, but as players as well. They're getting any hat adds pressure to your game.
The amount of letters and demand for their time and things that they're going to have to deal with now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
So Gibby said, I've never had an Empress when I've been playing, no idea what they even do. And Kit just said, break things.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's literally it.
Yep.
It was very, oh, nice, we have a throne. Who on earth is that bird? Yeah, I think that's it for a lot of people. They're not a public face at all.
I don't think that's the worst thing.
No. The least objectable option. Yeah, I think that is literally it.
Yeah.
Because the others have been going for it for a while.
Yeah.
Haven't they? So that's quite an interesting one.
Yeah.
So do you notice how we're doing a hots and nots, and we haven't even talked about anything that we've done yet?
Well, you know, I feel like we've got to do. This is our bullet point news section.
This is
and then
true.
we can
We
get
could-
onto the stories of the day,
could
in your
nick
area,
us.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I need some paper or something, to put on the desk.
Yeah, I need some ticker tape along the bottom with
Yeah.
Mithril Man murders.
Mithril Man murdered. Varushgan found guilty. Executed immediately. Person claims throne. No one gives a shit. That because that's literally been it, isn't it? Really, no one has cared.
Well, the fun is going to be whatever they do to make everyone care.
Yeah,
Like, it's a name no one's heard and can barely remember at the moment, but that's not going to last for long with some decisions they're going to have to make.
I'd say give it a E1, and I think it'll be a big thing.
Yeah.
Because
All of a sudden, everyone's going to know who they are.
Exactly. So it's just because it happened quite late in the game, didn't it, on the Sunday?
Yeah.
So I think so E1 is going to be their game. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
it's gonna be
if they're watching,
good luck.
really good luck. I really do hope you do well, and well, no, not even do well. No one cares. I hope you enjoy it as a player.
I hope you enjoy it and make it interesting.
Yes, yeah. Because my philosophy on if I ever became a empress would be I would be worse than Nikovar.
Wow. Okay.
Because
Fair.
I want in the game that what way to sign out to go.
Oh, yeah.
I was empress for a year and a half. Then what happened? I got assassinated by 73 people because I was insane.
Yeah. Perfect.
It would be crazy. It would be amazing. Imagine that story coming out of it, though. It would be something that people would talk about for a long time.
Being held up as the lesson of like, oh, you don't want to end up like this. You don't want to end up like Emperor Cal. Like, no.
Emperor
Learn
Cal, the
these lessons.
fuckhead. Oh, God.
Yeah. Exactly.
As a senator, they're quite a public face. I've never interacted with them, but I knew them better than other longer-running candidates. Okay, that's cool. So, Peldrigal, it's a good shout then, is it, in your opinion?
Yeah. We'll soon find out, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't answer that because I want to make my own opinion, I guess, in character.
Yeah,
Awesome
exactly.
character, very public. Okay, that's cool. Exemplar of prosperity, Mithril Man. But volunteers for the Throne Guard go up. What's the responsibilities as Throne? Break things.
Yeah.
You are literally making a lot of decisions with Senate about stuff. So you get more votes. You can take over an army if you choose to. You can disband Senate for a season if you want to. There's a lot of little things to it. There's a good description of everything you do on the wiki. I'd recommend having a little read of that. It goes into
so many weird little responsibilities and things in there. You get the chance to veto things or instantly approve options, and you've got like the Senate budget to basically you can assign to things as you see fit.
I wonder if there'll be an address to the Empire like Lizabetta did before the Long Dark, where they sent out postal just online. That'd be interesting. I mean, Lizabetta, I thought she was really good. I know the Navarre didn't like her because she took over one of their armies for like a year.
Fair enough.
So that was fine, and they did try to assassinate her as well, but that was more of a publicity stunt than anything. It's going to be interesting. I'm very interested to see what goes on with it all. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to E1. I just want to see what happens. And
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. It really, really is. Chat's got so far ahead of me at the moment. It's unbelievable. If you're not being removed in a coup, you're doing it wrong. Exactly, Gibby. Exactly. Imagine an alternate timeline where Cal becomes both Empress and murders the Mithril Man. That would have been fun. The mob against the Throne Guard.
Yeah, we've almost seen conflicts like that before.
Yeah, we have.
Year.
Yeah, we have. There's a
I thought that was-
there's a good photo of me involved in one actually, where the Empress was she was in the Senate, and they were going, yeah, everyone's coming to kill her, and there's me stood outside with someone who's like staring at my chest, and I've got both of my weapons, and I'm just sort of looking away. It's just like, yeah, well, this will go badly, but I'm you're not getting past me.
I'll give you the first swing.
Yeah, that was actually it. It was great. Throne has a lot of veto power, a variety of small powers. I've spoken to some longer running players. The big difference with this throne race, that it was the candidates competing with one another rather than trying to reach out and address the wider empire. Okay, that's good. You can get part of Senate budget, portion of True Liao, which are not in different things, and take control of an army. Yeah. Peldragal, you know more than than us anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not difficult, I don't think.
I mean, you just hear the stories filter through, don't you? Like, was it Elizabeth that basically ended up signing off on the Grendel Treaty when they turned up and we went, and when we won an almost unbelievable amount of money. We want like 500 or 600 or 700 thrones or whatever it was for this, and she just went, you know what? I'm sick and tired of negotiating. We're not mucking about. Bring me the war chest now. Just flip that open. Off you have, lads. We're having some peacetime.
Yeah, that's it.
Being empress means no nickel and diming. That's it. You're making big decisions, and you've got a big old bat to swing with.
Yeah, very much so. Ben said, "I hear of any murderer. My question is, has anyone seen Cal lately?" Cheers, man.
It's always a valid question.
I haven't. Okay, I'm lying. That's a lie.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a lie. But yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to E1 now a lot more because of this, not just because of my own stuff, but I think it's going to be really interesting. I wonder if the throne will allow someone just to come up and say hi and just say, right, I have no fucking clue who you are. What are you doing? And if they refuse, it's like, okay, well, you'll get no support from me then. That's going to be my literal it. I'll throw it all into first meeting. So what do you do? Are you going to talk to me? It's like, no, I'm busy. Okay, right, I'm never going to support you again, and I hope you die, you prick. Having me done.
Fair enough, isn't it?
It's very, very, yeah. No, I'm going to be interested to see what happens with everything. I really am. Not going to do a Mac and propose. I could do.
You never rule it out, right?
No, very much so. Very, very much so. It's an interesting part of the game, and all I can say is I hope they enjoy it. I'm not even taking the piss or anything like that. I'm literally, I really hope that the player enjoys it, because this is a big job, and
yeah, it's a massive achievement and like a real opportunity.
Yeah,
to have some big fun. So
yeah, massive fun. What nation are they from?
They're Varushkan.
Are they?
I believe it's Sparrow of Varushka. That's going from someone told me once while I was walking past. May have got that wrong. I'm sure chat will help us out. But
yeah, what's the name of the new?
I'm pretty sure it's
Empress and what nation? We'll probably get about.
Trying to remember the last time we had a Varushkan emperor. Yeah, Sparrow of Varushka.
Vesna of Varushka.
Oh yeah, and they're
a Briar.
The marches exploded.
Really? I suppose the Navarre didn't as well.
Yeah.
Well, they might have done.
Yeah, we're not. Which is hilarious, because the marchers swung the vote, and yet
there's a Briar
on the wiki. It's on the wiki, but marchers and Briars.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
That's
very cool. That's very cool.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, let's move on from the.
That's the headlines.
Week. That's the headlines. I think that is the big headlines, isn't it? I suppose the other one would be Cold Sun repeatedly kicks the shit out of the Empire.
Yeah, Cold Sun
is the other one, isn't it?
It's not fun.
No, well, it is fun. I've had one skirmish with the Cold Sun, and we beat the living shit out of them, and we left them all dead.
That's funny, because I had one skirmish with the Cold Sun.
Come on, you can do it.
and that didn't happen.
What happened on yours?
On our skirmish, so night skirmish, classic night skirmish for the marchers, for Bill of Middleton, and Bill is a member of my banner I was under, which is the Unbound Union, which is in itself a collection of smaller households. So usually in the marches we have various households, like Dawn has houses, or Wintermark has its halls. But you can also join smaller houses under one banner that we fight for. So it's lots of 1, 2, 3 people, small houses that get together, so that we have people to socialise and a bit of support network, which is quite nice. So the Unbound Union. But Bill can't take the field, so he hands it off to the one person that can deal with something like this, which is our resident folk hero, William Guildenstern, which I think you've had Matt Peary on.
Yeah. We talk monsters.
Top lad, love Matt. He's fantastic, and rounded
he's
up.
All right.
He gets by, doesn't he? As if he's not got enough on his plate. Right. He's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Again, much like having an Empress, worse than you'd rather have a Guildenstern than not. I tend to find.
Must be a Marcher thing.
Yeah, I think it is really. Yeah, but
I suppose it could be a 2 feet thing as well. We'll have to ask Kit.
Fair enough. He takes on the responsibility of going fighting the Cold Sun and does his job of rounding up, some rowdy marchers that want to go and defend Breggers Land, because that's what we're pretty good at. We've been pretty good at that the last couple of years. And a fair amount of Highguarders and Dornish offer their support as well, which is jolly nice, because we have heard from Wintermarkers that a good load of mass weakness does a wonderful thing. So we round up the best battle mages we've got, which was my character, Bambrit Fisher, Blackjack, one of our one of our top guys, and Aidan Weller, all of us Union Banner members, and I think there was one other battle mage with us as well. We got 4 battle mages, and we go, yes, let's walk out into a field at 9 o'clock at night in the dark for these 5 or 6 Cold Sun that are here with our weaknesses charged and ready to go, and we've got 60 heavy plate bill hook having no sidearm needed marchers behind us, and we walk out there and we go and do our thing, and the Cold Sun walk out of the dark with their 70, 80 numbers, and Impale comes, and all our battle mages die. And they walk up to our bill line, shatter. I bought a bill hook, and nothing else. Impale, 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 impale. I think out of the 65 we took, we lost 12. We lost more than about a sixth of the force.
Oh,
who just died then and there, and they pushed. So they hit us in 2 waves. They had the first line that just walked up with shatter, and as soon as they landed, they literally switched out, and the 9 came through and impaled. And it being dark at night, the fact that it wasn't all marchers, so we had quite a lot of Dornish and quite a lot of Highguard there as well. So as soon as the cohesion broke, shields were shattered and Dawn and Highguard, they got a bit spooked. Bills are shattered with the marchers, they're super spooked. So, and then the problem is, because it's dark, you look to the person next to you and you go, are you an Imperial that's from a different nation, and that's why I don't recognise you? Or are you a Cold Sun Herald who's going to murderize me? I don't know who you are. Like, all of a sudden, I don't know where my friends are. We don't know where the gate is anymore. It just descended into chaos, into absolute chaos. And before we knew what was happening, people were being told by the refs, you've got to leave. That's it. You're through the gate. And we didn't realise the bulk of the fighting force had only moved about 10 foot from the gate. Was when they hit us. So they're only 10 foot into the field, and by the time you've taken 2 or 3 steps back, you're out the gate. Sorry, you've gone. Do you have to leave now? Get out.
Hell.
So we've got people, you know, us battle mages are lying there bleeding out on the ground, screaming, and I'm only 6 foot from them. Because, you know, we're not silly. We didn't run off into the field. I think I've got a full battle line 6 foot behind me. They're being just pushed and pushed and pushed out of the gate. We're lying on the ground, screaming, because I know what's happening. I've heard the stories. I know what happens if the cold sun, like, you know, they step over you and you don't come back. And before you know it, everyone's gone. That's it. They're all pushed out the gate, and we're left there in the field, in the dark. And all of a sudden, one by one, the screams started. Like from the other end, I was the last one, so I had my like 2 people that were under my banner, and the other one, I hear, and I know their voices. I hear Blackjack screaming in the night, and then I hear Aiden screaming into the night, and then I have a Cold Sun Herald over me, and the next thing I know, you know, I feel a cold flame take my body, and it burnt me from the inside out till there was nothing left, a tiny pile of ash. That's how ours went. So you did all right, did you? Just rolled them. Yeah, fair enough.
We rolled them. Yeah.
All right, some, innit?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Ours. We went to Calavesa, to the aviary, and our line marched forward. Their line marched forward. They shattered and impaled, but we literally went in as if we were prepared for the main, like, Saturday or Sunday battle. I had so much shit on me, and and we cleared a little bit of a flank, and then people just rolled round, and then they all just went down, and we were waiting for them to get back up, but they didn't. Oh, Panda, too soon. Somebody once told me the cold sun's gonna roll me. Oh, God. Oh, that sucks. I mean, do you know what the sad thing is? That is the story I hear from a lot of people as well. So, I think Mike put in there saying that they broke the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Fucking hell, yeah. I've never seen I'll tell you, I've seen a billhook unit get rolled once. In all of my time at Empire, once I've seen that happen. And
that is held up. Every battle, every skirmish, that event is like, you remember what happened to the Belstons? Everybody died. That billhook broke, and everybody died. And it is still taught in the marches of, like, it's horrific.
It's bad.
That is a horrific thing, and it will never be allowed to happen again. But yeah, it was big, and that was Friday night. As I say, Friday night, 9 o'clock, that happened. And then I think Navarre had a very similar thing happen to them in the weekend as well. From what I heard, I don't think it was quite as devastating with losses, but it was still pretty bad. I think it was still like 8 to 10 died in that one as well.
There was at least one dead in every single Cold Sun skirmish, at least.
Yeah.
So, and I think like 75% of the skirmishes were Cold Sun.
And to put that in context, the Sunday battle, I think the total death count on the Empire side was 5 people. As the total reported death count was 5.
That sucks.
10 dead in the Navarre, and yeah, I think we lost 12 in the marchers. Just in skirmishes, just in throwaway skirmishes. That I think our one lasted 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
I think that's about it. About 4 minutes. And
4 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. And that was about the entire length of it.
Bad.
Yeah. So we lost. So in those 2 skirmishes alone, you lost more than if we'd had 4 grand battles.
So there is. I mean, there's a lot of IC, OC stuff here, so a lot of stuff that we can't go into.
Yes. Yeah,
here.
because I think we've all heard different rumours about, you know,
Yeah.
this, that, and the other thing with the Cold Sun. So I don't want to go into all of that. I just thought the story's there, but take it seriously.
I have to squash a rumor though, because I know people complain about it. So when people say they're not taking a mass weakness when they should, it's like, no, the rules are being followed. I will tell you that the rules are being followed. This is a thing. Okay, so just to bear that in mind. All right, and it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. My character was killed by the Cold Sun Heralds in that encounter. I went to God, did what you did, where you sit at the computer and you have to push that button that says report character death. That's the hardest click of a mouse I've ever had to do. But then, someone came over from the team, and explained to us, don't, your calls were heard. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. Blah 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 blah, and gave us a bit of a debrief of why and how things happened in the way that they did. So,
PD
I am not annoyed at all at what happened. It's gutting that I died like that, losing a character, but as to the mechanics of it, no problem at all.
Yeah, there's rules wise, there's no issues.
Yeah,
and that's what I think. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Because in our first skirmish against them, when we had a mass weakness used on them, and they said it bounced back, you could see everybody like, what? It's like that doesn't happen. Yeah, that's just brutal. But we've used mass entangle, which doesn't bounce back. I will say that one. So I'm thinking Druge Miasma was terrifying enough. Yeah, the Druge Miasma is like just a piece of piss compared to this.
Oh yeah, Druge are level 1 rats in the basement enemy compared
They
to
really
guys.
are, yeah. It's also like the Valorn as well. Wow. I say the Valorn are either level 1 or some of them are on par, but they cover the whole spectrum.
These lads are not playing around.
Yeah, it's like I've seen people, like some of the Valorn skirmishes I've been on have been up there, terrifying, where they've had the smoke machines and a Valorn comes walking out of the smoke towards you and it's like 3 feet in front of you. But because we weren't prepared and our weapons weren't out and we weren't threatening, it walked straight past us. And then you get some twat at the back who goes, oh my god, pulls out a sword, and then it attacks everyone in sight.
Yeah.
So, I'm hearing Druja now baby acid level slime. Yeah. Yeah, compared to the Cold Sun. I'm hoping, do you know what would be great for the future? Would be to get a Saturday or Sunday battle, culmination, final Cold Sun battle, Imperials against the Cold Sun, like 800 on 800.
Imagine. We'd clear out half the field. That'd be it.
It'd be hilarious, though, wouldn't it?
I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be interesting.
Slaughter. Thank you, Bjorn. Slaughter. Yeah, slaughter.
Just, there you go. Sorted.
This is why I like the Jotun. It's all far more sporting.
Yeah.
Bored of the Jotun. I am bored of the Jotun. But I think for me this year, because where I'd normally be fighting in everything ever, I've actually been sensible. Because I did the first one, so where I came out and I was just like bleeding from the ballsack, I haven't fought since. So
yeah, that's generally an indicator.
Yeah. So I'll be back to fighting properly at E1. So I've actually sadly been very, very sensible, unfortunately. Yeah. But it'll be a laugh. Be like last year when the free ball got smashed.
We had our little face-off at one point, didn't we? Round the side of a fort, where I think we squared up to each other as I was monstering for. That might have been a Jotun battle.
That was a Jotun, yeah.
You smashed a ref in the face.
That's right, a ref. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a really fun fight. That was
really fun. We had a great time.
And because we had, so for those who know Sam, who is one of the senators in the league, his role play where I think I shattered his spear, and he chucked it, and then he pulled out his sword, and I shattered his sword. And then he came over and just grabbed me by the scruff of the neck. He's like, just fucking finish me then. It's just like, no, mate, just walk away. It's like, please just walk off. Ah, and he just literally ran off screaming. It's just like some of the most amazing RP ever. That fight was amazing. And unfortunately, Owen, he got my axe straight in his face because someone was rude enough to duck my killing blow.
I know. I can't imagine what an unsportsmanship tactic, getting out of the way.
They should all be sensible and run into my weapons for me. I've got a reputation to uphold. So fucking hell, man, that was harsh. But I will say this: out of all of the deaths I've had on like the nearly 3 years of doing this, that's up there.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. It was a great bit of role play, and getting to, because I was so close to the gate, as I say, 6 foot from the standing stones, and then if you've not ever taken the battlefield or gotten a chance to go through the Sentinel Gate, it's not on the other side of the fence. It's not directly opposite. There's a bit of a walk to go through. It's probably, what do you reckon, 30 yards?
Yeah.
Something like
There's
that.
a big gap.
Yeah. So there's a bit of a gap between the anvil in character area and where you fight your battles. So there's a bit of room to maneuver.
Yeah.
So, but it's loud enough that in the dead of night, a scream will carry.
Mm.
So you've got the people coming out the other side of the gate going, "Is everyone back?" And then all they can hear is the screams echoing through the gate. So a few choice words put into there.
It does add. It
was
really
a lot
does.
of fun.
Yeah.
As a death, it was great, but then that was it affected me more than I thought it was going to, and more than I was expecting or prepared for.
Yeah.
For a Friday evening at the start of the event.
But you seem to have dragged yourself through a lot of it, kicking and screaming. Well, to an extent.
Yeah.
Get in touch with me next week and let me know how you're feeling.
It's a funny one. From now, I'm glad that it happened on the Friday, because it gave me the rest of the weekend to deal with it in a setting that was appropriate. By which I mean there's a huge testimony to the game that it's so immersive, and when you're there and you're playing it and you're in that environment, seeing people asking questions about it, receiving information, being upset, being around it, and all the memories, all the people that now are you're just a ghost to them. You're someone else. I took on the name of John Doe. Baker, obviously. He's a local baker, because bread is pain.
Yeah.
And just having people that I know and interact with every event just walk straight past you, and then ask where you are, is just a horrific thing to have to deal with.
It's heartbreaking.
But having a whole weekend of constantly, my mood was in the gutter.
Yeah.
I was barely keeping it together for a lot of it. It was so sort of crushing, and the bleed between character and player was far more than I was expecting it to be. It was a real shock to the system, because I'm guessing several people probably in chat and stuff will have backup characters or concepts ready to go, and they think, oh, when my character dies, I want to go and join this nation, or I want to try these skills, or maybe next time I'll do this. And everyone kind of has that in the back of their head of, oh, I like the idea of this brief, or that's quite fun. But when it happened, I wasn't expecting it to hit me in the way that it did, where just bits of my character's kit, I was like, I need to not wear this. Like, this needs to just go away. So the first thing that we did, and I was very, very fortunate actually that I died with friends.
Yes.
I had Matt and Morgan as Blackjack and Aiden to go through this with, because we didn't spend a lot of time together, but every now and then you would have one or other of them come up to you, and then I'd be sat there, and they would just kind of be like, "How are you holding up? Do you want to go for a walk?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, okay." And you wouldn't talk, like we barely spoke, but we would do a lap of Anvil, and just having someone that you knew was feeling the same way was so reassuring, and sort of comforting, that we're all lost, and we're all feeling like we've lost something. But we all dealt with it in very different ways, which is quite funny. I'm a very emotional person at the best of times. So mine all came out in sort of tears and little bits of interaction with people, and little private moments with certain individuals and things like that. We had a bit of a chat, and I spent a lot of time with our egregores and things like that. Just having little moments. Blackjack wanted to get on and start planning what he was doing next, or he took time to himself and wanted to sit quietly. And Aidan wanted to get involved with. He wanted something to keep him busy. Had to be busy. Had to be doing something. So went and joined the back a set team, and did like set designs and costuming, and went and got some encounter tents ready and things like that. And by the end of it, in our own little ways, we all felt a lot better. But yeah, it's funny to deal with it. But yeah, man, it hit me like a ton of bricks. But coming home last night and waking up this morning in a different environment, not being in Anvil, not surrounded by the characters that your character knows and loves so well and regards as friends and family, it's sort of, that was almost like a distancing, and being able to cry and scream and shout and shed tears and do that and get all of that bit out of the system, and then having the physical detraction as well. I did the classic, sat the next morning and wrote a will, and ended up giving away just most of my kit to people, all over the place, left, right, and centre. Anything that vaguely reminded me of Fisher, I just sent away to people that would hopefully get a kick out of it. Either emotionally or a bit of a giggle. But I've sent it all around, so it will hopefully give. Again, it's all about giving game, and those people will get some game stories shared, moments, things are happening here, there, and everywhere. But it's going to be, I'm hoping that it's going to be a cool point for people in the future, in other sessions. So
it will be.
It was a tough weekend. It was a very emotionally charged weekend. I think I spent more time sobbing than not. I think genuinely more time just crying than it was a very soggy mess for most of it. But feel better now than I was, and I'm sure by the time E1 rolls round, I'll feel better than I do now. But
you will. Chat, sorry, I wasn't reading out questions or answering anything like that, because obviously this is a...
I was just getting to the end of my
This
bit,
is a moment.
I was aware that things were going on.
It sucks. That's... There's nothing that anyone can say or do to make anything better, either.
I remember, obviously, last year when you lost your previous character, and, just seeing you on stream just, like, so drained and defeated.
I was a mess.
How much of that was losing the character, and how much of that was the way that you lost your character?
Both. Mac was me. Mac was so much of me. Funnily enough, I had someone come along who hadn't been for a year and a half. They came to E1 and they hadn't been back since last year. So E1 last year, this was their first event back, and they came up to the tent and they walked over and went, "Oh, Mac, it's good to see you again." And I was just like, "Who?" It's like, oh, you're looking for my nephew? Nah, I'm sorry, he died. And they're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, it was very much. I put so long and so much effort into him. Yeah, it sucked. I mean, the way he died was. They've changed how the PD have changed how they do things now.
Yeah.
Because of it, so I can't really do it. As I just said, bleed is a difficult thing. Sometimes can take a very long time to get over, and it can. But you've done the right thing because it's something that I've had to do. So, Mac was known for his. Oh fucking! I've got the beer's gone. I've got the hiccups now. Full of gas. There we go again. You see, Mac was known for his mason hammer. Because the rest of his kit is very generic, which is fine. There's a war skirt as well, and so I think I had a bit of the war skirt that had all the names on it from people, friends, and family who had died. It was a long. There's a lot of people on there, so that I've cut that off, and I'm going to get it framed. But I gave away or auctioned off, or well, to be honest, I sold the hammer to Beth because she was Mac's daughter, and it made sense.
Yeah, completely.
And the mace I gave away in a raffle because I can't use them anymore because it was just too sad.
That was it. I had to do the same. So where I was a battle mage, obviously the rules around weapons is that you're not allowed tools or any mundane items. It has to clearly be a weapon to be a legitimate weapon. Wands, however, have to fall within a certain length, and be clearly magical, so inscribed with runes or crystals or something like that.
Yeah.
So my character had a frying pan. I had a skillet.
Right.
A good marcher skillet was my wand that I trundled around with. I had a LARP safe skillet, and I take that onto the battlefield, and that was what I would use to repair limbs with. So when someone's got a broken leg on the field, smashing it with a skillet is very thematic and very fun to do, and I recommend everyone does it at least once. Yeah. Especially when a friend of mine got cleaved in the groin, and I was like, I can fix that, but it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. But yes, Beth, again, that went in the will. I've given that away, so now someone else in the field has a very silly latex frying pan. Do
you know what the funny thing is for me is that all of my characters, all of my groups have always said we're not going to get anything, any of your resources upgraded because you'll die so quickly. Because I was always behind the enemy lines and stuff like that. Oh, you can't. So you can't put runes on something to make it a wand.
It's on the wiki. There's a list of rules that it has to follow. It has to specifically look like it, and it has to fall within a certain length.
There's certain
parameters.
I've
checked it with refs before, and they have okayed it.
Okay.
Precedent was set.
There you go, Beth. So have a look at. Oh, I was speaking about the skillet.
Yeah, you can't use it as a weapon.
But it can be used as a wand.
But as a wand. I've had it okayed by refs.
Okay. Have a look at the wiki. Yeah. Hey, Ben, you were missed, mate. I missed our 1 a.m. chats. Yeah. So, Esme said something really nice. I'll have to scroll back up to it. I got to admit, having my first event and immediately getting to see Max Whispers was a very special way to join. The immediate introduction to so many people's special bond to a character really brought to light how immersive this world is. It sucks. That's the easiest way to put it. Everything about it does suck. But I think getting rid of those bits and those connections does help a lot. It helped me a lot. Yeah. Amazingly, the thing that broke me the most, unfortunately for Kit, was him. Because I was quiet. I was very quiet, and I was upset. everyone crying is pretty immersive. Yeah, that was true. I mean, everyone was all right, and then I started singing "Wayfaring Stranger," and that seemed to break people. It's the 2 Feet funeral song. But I was all right, and then Kit came wandering down. He literally was just on a mission and walked all the way down, and he just gave me a hug, and it broke me. So I left on that. So that's why I had to leave. But
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing about character death is when you play characters longer than a year, and when you play a character for 10 years, it becomes extremely difficult. Yeah, it all sucks. Bleed, character death. I don't care if you've played your character for one event, you come to the next and you die. Mike will back me up on this. He didn't play his character for long, but it was upsetting because it does. Because it's part of you.
Yeah.
It really is part of you. And it does suck. It really does. But
First characters are hard to lose, especially I think because a lot of advice people give you, and it's something that a lot of people fall into anyway. Is your character is just you with 2 or 3 traits accentuated. So when they go, it's such a blow. But like you said, with the I had my whispers. I died on the Friday. I had my whispers on Saturday, which was also the Marchers Wassail Festival, our big harvest festival, our big celebration where we wander around everywhere. And it was at the same time. My whispers was at the same time as the Wassail parade was. So I was expecting 4 or 5 people to show up because everyone in our nation's off doing the big event, doing the big celebrating, masks and games and booze and food and songs and mischief. Like, why would you ever want to miss that? And I walked out of the tent into the Reggio, and there must have been about 30, 40 people waiting.
that's good.
It just cracked me immediately. I just straight away went. It was just tears and sobbing and looking around at people. Obviously you can't see them as the spirit.
No.
They're stood in front of you, and if they're wailing and crying, trying to ignore that is really hard when they're all in there. We when we went out to battle, we had what was called the Ashes of Overton. So you would take the ashes from your fire, and that went on your face as kind of you took that with you. You took home with you. So everyone's wearing their ashes, and it's all just streaking down their faces. You've got like these huge, big, dark lines ingrained into people's faces for the rest of the night. It was hard. It was hard.
It was good though. Yeah, it was. I could tell. I could see it in your face. As I said, I'd never met Mac, but in a way, I still felt some sort of grief. Just how those whispers showed just how many people had a connection to the character. Not just the person who plays it. Mourning a missed experience. Yeah, I was all right because with the shit that went on with my death, Matt P was a lifesaver because he turned around, he literally spun it with a, well, no one knows how you died, so you get to make up how you want to have died. And Matt going out to go and join someone in the labyrinth who wasn't actually dead. And get and just get high on drugs and laugh at everyone as they're stabbing him to death. Yeah, that was Mac's death. That was it, absolute to a T. I was okay with it until, because I always knew that when I left and when they said to me, "You're dead," it's like, oh yeah, I guessed. It's like, I know. I said, no one's around me. I can't find my way back to my fire. And they're just like, got any advice? It's like, yeah, to my daughters, it's like, yeah, don't be like me. Really don't be like me. And that was hard. But I was fine. And then I started to sing Wayfaring Stranger. And, I mean, God bless Kit, because I got a little bit into it. And then my voice started to go. I was just like, it's like you realise I could taste my own tears. And my throat started to go, and my voice was wobbling, and then Kit took over, and he started singing it, and then everyone started singing it, and oh my god! I walked back into the tent, and Autumn was in there, and she was just like, that was amazing. And she came, and I was crying my eyes out, and she was just like giving me a massive hug, and it was wonderful. Oh yeah, but I will say, not all whispers go like this.
No, true.
So Mike Kalon, before mine, I was watching him, and his was brutal. His was brutal. I'm glad we could laugh about it now though, Mike. He confessed his love to someone, and she went, "Yeah, okay, I've got to go." It's like, wow, it was harsh.
Jeez.
Yeah, absolutely brutal.
Well, during my whispers, something interesting happened actually, because from what I'd heard, I think it was a bit of experimental magic that no one had done before.
Yeah.
Which is I got testimonied in a whispers.
Oh, okay.
And they weren't sure if it was going to work or not, but this is it was done by very, very high up, very knowledgeable, long-running character from Highguard who had apparently been canvassing for the entirety of Saturday. Can this happen? Does this work? And no one was able to give an answer. They don't think it's ever been done. Can you testimony someone's soul if you do a whispers? Turns out you can.
What did you get?
I got Trusting Legacy.
Oh, that's
and
a
I was
good
handed,
one.
I was handed this amazing piece of artwork, which is the team of characters that went into Breggers Land to deal with Bushel Sykes.
Yeah.
So there was a the Marcher plot line of the Matilda Fisher sort of civil war. Bushel Sykes was basically an old poacher sat on Breggers Land that went, I don't care if the Jotun have run away, I don't care if Matilda Fisher's run away, I think I think Breggers Land should secede, and I don't care who knows it. He was kind of spreading unvirtuous loyalty. So we went there to have a little chat, and it turned out that he had a spontaneous aura on his soul, which is a miracle.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So we were then at the awkward point of going, you're a traitor to the Empire because you've helped a barbarian ally in a war and you're telling people to secede from the Empire, but you're also so virtuous in your loyalty that you have a spontaneous aura. Don't really know how to deal with this.
We'll talk about it after we've executed you.
Oh, we shivved him up, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Still a traitor, like.
Yeah.
But that was a lovely
That's really
piece
nice.
of artwork that was done of the five of us that went. So that was, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know that it had been commissioned. I didn't know anything about it, but that was handed to me as I was being testimonied as a wandering soul in the labyrinth. So
that's so
I was very emotional.
I can tell. I can tell. The squid. Hello, Mornwald Lass here. Hello, welcome to all this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
This is right. Let's move on from this really emotionally charged.
Yes. Go on, give me some hots.
Let's go for a hot.
Yeah, give me a hot. Yes,
my entire event was hot.
Of course,
apart from the weather, my entire event was. Oh, Beth said she won't be upset if she doesn't get whispered. She'll get whispered when I kill her.
You'll be whispered.
Yeah. We'll just whisper in your ear as you're dying. That's fine. Someone asked what Mrs. the Biffer is reading behind you. She said she looks captivated.
What you want? Stone Blind. Stone Blind, it's called. It's apparently a feminist retelling of the story of the Medusa.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Very cool, yeah.
There you go, Ben.
Natalie Haynes, The Stone Blind, if anyone's a fan of their green mints.
There you go. So, yeah, oh, that's good. Welcome to the Hefty Fam. Thanks for following. Ben says that does sound cool. Excellent.
Very cool.
So, yes, I mean, mine started off quite slow. My Friday was slow, I'm going to admit.
Wish mine was.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. It started off quite slow, and I was hearing people talking about wanting to get involved in plot, but not knowing how to do things. I'm a bullshit prick, so I have no issues with this. So my Saturday, so I went on the Calavasi Vision Quest thing on the Friday night, which I'm not gonna lie was shit. PD, if you're watching, people try hard to get Goose Whisper and stuff like that, and we walked into this. I know what involved in plot, preposterous, it's terrible behaviour, and we walked in, and 3 spirits turned up, delivered 1 line each, and we left. Really disappointing. So everyone was saying, well, what do we make of this? And people were going, nothing. It means nothing. So I sat there going, I need to make something of this, because I can't let Goose Whisper is a potion that we make messy. So
Yeah, I'm sure as an apothecary you can make Goose Whisper, can't you?
Yeah.
It's on like a list.
Yeah. Helen makes a lot of it. So I was walking back with people, and they were going, it means nothing. It meant absolutely nothing. Can't take anything from it. I was like, okay, well, I need to find something here to take from this. So I was just thinking about it all, and then I literally bullshitted my way through so many conversations with people, just to go, we need to do this now. We have to do this. And I've now got the new Raven Seer. Well, I had both Raven Seers, the old and new, behind me for it. I've got I've got 2 large covens behind me for it. So I've got a lot of stuff going on there, which this is plot I've literally pulled out of my arse.
Fair enough.
And I think it's going to be really good, because I've been trying to get a lot of newer players onto it. Obviously I can't say what the plot is because it's still ongoing, but it's hopefully going to drag a lot of people into in the sort of game they enjoy into doing a lot of stuff, which is going to be great fun. So that's literally 3 pieces of plot right there, because they're going off in 3 different directions. Great fun. Then I got I got named as well.
Nice.
Twice in 20 minutes.
I thought you meant to have one and done.
No, Wintermark, you can have as many names as you get. So
filling out birthday cards, it'll take forever.
Oh no, right? It's like, let's write a book out just to introduce himself, the little prick. So, sorry, my daughter's just walked in. So we literally were just there because everyone was getting named, and I'm not gonna lie, OC Steve was going, I've been trying to get named in Wintermark for 7 fucking years. Ridiculous. And people were going, yeah, you've done all of this, you do all this, you do all this, and then all of a sudden, God, it sounds like I just whinged. I whinged myself into getting named. Helen's now looking at me going,
As long as you weren't named like Howling Whinge, you're all right.
oh yeah, that was it. So, but people did sit down and they had long chats with Scops and stuff like that. And sorry, everyone's talking. Lil, talk to you in a minute, all right, hon? Okay, yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, so they got together with a load of Scots, and well, the first naming was amazing. Yeah, 7 years for a name, two come along at once, and the first one was amazing. So Savi came along from the Dunnings in Wintermark, sat down with the hall while I was off doing my little stupid things, and then they came down. I had a little chat with her, and then she said, "You do a lot to help people. You get people involved with other things. You do a lot of guiding stuff." Savi is amazing. Yeah, you're definitely 100% Beth. Savi is wonderful. And then she just said, "I also hear that you have an affinity with the bear, because I have bear claws and all of this." It's just like, yeah, yeah. She goes, "So I'm going to name you the Claw That Guides."
Ooh, that's cool.
It's a really nice one.
That's really cool. It's always a risk when someone else decides to put something on you like that. Like, or is it? But no, that's you've come up trumps. That's good.
It was a great one. Really, really good one. Then we had this one needs to be cleared up first of all, but to decide whether it's actually a proper Wintermark name.
Okay.
So the Dawn have hearth magic, where they can. I can't think what it's called anymore. What's it called? The girdle. I was calling it a girdle, but it's not.
Dawn's a mystery.
Yeah. Yes, very much.
Who
so.
understands Dawn?
So they can girding. Thank you very much, chat.
That's what you do with your loins.
Exactly. So they gird themselves. So they dress up as someone else, and they look like it, and Dawn see them as that person.
Yes.
So
Okay, fair enough.
so Dave, aka Mercy in Dawn,
Yeah.
a wonderful, wonderful moment where he came over to us with a towel over, and he had all this on, and he was just like, "Ah, Cal, it's me, your friend Tarek of Ashenhall." And I was just like, "What the fuck?" And it was amazing. It was so good. And he's just like, "Yeah, I hear all of these things about that you're doing all of this and all of this." It was amazing. He said, "So I want to name you something." And he literally walked away from our camp. We got the road next to us. He stood in the middle of that, put his arms in the air. He was like, "Everybody, listen to me. I am Tarek of Ashen." And he was just going on and on and on. And he just went, I want to name you the People's Heron. Because the heron is it's the bird of pride.
Okay. Sure.
So he had to explain it to me as well.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was so cool. It was so well done. And he went off, and I was just like, "Okay, you're gonna sing for us now, Tarek." And he was just like, "No, my throat is gone. I've got to leave." And he just literally jogged off. I was just like, it's like, wow,
Hilarious.
And that was it. The next thing though is we've got a lot of people are there going, "So this is their hearth magic," and I was just like, "Yeah." I said, "If we reject it, we're insulting Dawn.
Yeah, big problems.
If we accept it, we're insulting our own."
Because I guess naming is part of Wintermark culture.
Big thing for us.
Yeah.
So,
Oy.
yeah, conversations need to be had with egregores.
Good luck with that.
Well, it won't be me doing it.
You just be up to your old heron tricks.
Yeah, exactly. So there was that which went on, but because I normally finish at about 1:30, so I've got one more thing that I really wanted to bring up.
Yeah, go for it.
There's my LARP children in the forest in Wintermark, Steelstorm. They are the loveliest, drunkest lads in the field. So I've known them since they were underage and drunk until they were legal and drunk.
And obviously you counselled them to take appropriate measures.
Yeah, get older, then start drinking.
Exactly. Yeah, get old and then do it. Great.
So they came down to our bar and we do try. They came down to the bar, the Rowdy Raven, and we had a few drinks, and we got progressively more and more drunk. And there was a lot of OCIC talk going on, and it was really good. And it basically led me to threatening their Thane to sort his shit out.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I was going to kill him. So I will say this to all of Steelstorm watching right now, because I know you're here. That duel, your Thane wouldn't have survived. I would have executed him. Because, it's a thing that happens. But, yeah, poor Grimshaw. I know. But, I was talking to, funny enough, I was talking to Kit about it. And we suddenly realised that they had gone the same way as the early 2 feet. Lots of talk, no meetings, a lot of miscommunication. And we were going to jump you if you tried, it was discussed. Oh, I would have killed an entire hall. Oh, well,
no.
Never mind.
Not again.
Yeah, because I would have had all of my lot with me there as well, don't forget. And I would have had more people. Steelstorm would have ceased to exist. But anyway, it's by the by, it doesn't happen. It wasn't going to it's not going to happen. And we had a great chat. He came down to us after I fixed people's weapons, because I shattered a few. And we went off for a little chat, and it became very much an OC chat. And I'll tell you what, it was one of my it's one of my highlights. It really is a highlight of the weekend for me. And there was a lot of chat about. So I asked him a simple question. It's like, what do you want out of the game? It's like, no one's ever asked me that before. And it's like, well, you have chats with everybody in your hall. That's like a very common question. And it turned out no one really in the hall none of this had all come up before. So they were all going to sit down and have these conversations and just see where it all led to. So, and it was just such a nice, honest conversation, and I went up to them and had a chat with a few of them, and it was so good. I do feel like a proud dad, like who's watched from like 100 meters away while everyone gets drunk, but they are really enjoying this, and they've grown so much as players, as people, and they've done such a good thing. They really have. It's absolutely phenomenal what they've done. They've come so far. And it actually led to Grimshaw, their Thane, saying, he likes the fighting. He's more interested in the healing part of it. So he actually went over to the Egregore and took the Grimnir's Oath, which essentially means he's not a frontline fighter anymore.
Oh.
He stands at the back, he heals, he picks people up, or he goes and gets them to drag them back.
That's what we need.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no one really knew this. And they've like been saying in chat that it's just like, yeah, we're having a hall meeting and everything. It's great.
Best way to do it.
They've done so well. They really, really have. So yeah, that's a massive, massive highlight for me, and wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
So
terrific.
yeah. So kudos to Steelstorm. You've been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
so much love for you, man. Don't make me ban you, Casey. All thanks to you. No, it's you lot. Gotten a lot better at covering wounded players since mine and Brock's work as well. It's good. No, you've done so well. As a whole, you've been great. So really...
it's nice to know where in the field you can go for good advice. Is a big part of it as well. There are good people out there, and
there really are.
And having the wherewithal to go up and say, I don't know what I'm doing, or can you help me with a direction? Is a wonderful thing to do from time to time.
Yes, I think everything that happened is like there was a couple of new players there on the Sunday, who they were just there because they were going around to all the nations, and while I was doing my inventory of my drugs, I made about 200 thrones just from drugs this event. It's
a hard life, isn't it?
It's criminal. And they just said, right, how do the drugs work? So I explained that to them, and then it sort of it led obviously into others, like how does this work in game, how does that work in game, and all of this. So I explained to, I went through a lot of stuff with them, and it was really, really good. Even though I had people sort of like stood on the corner going, "You need to come now," I was there for like another 5 minutes going, "Right, no, this is this, do this." And that's so the Bajillion Throne coin. No, I didn't see that for Broken Wheel. I did buy a Mane of Withril though.
Nice.
Which was hallowed to wisdom, and it meant that anyone who gave you what you thought was wise advice, you would question it because is it actually trustworthy?
Yeah.
So it's a big positive. It was really, really good. Yeah, Withmill was so good.
I've seen a photo of the Bajillion Throne coin, and it is massive. It's about probably like 3 foot. It's huge. It's a big toilet on it.
Toilet on it. Hey, so yes, glad you're back safely. Yeah, I didn't see the Bajillion Throne coin. I wish I had. If someone has a photo of it, chuck it into the Discord chat because I have to see this.
Yeah, I'll find it and I'll put it in there in a bit.
That's so cool. That's all cool. I hope everybody enjoyed the photo at the beginning of the stream as well, because one of our hall members, their dad, who's a pilot, literally flew over the site a few times and took a photo. I got icy spiked on the Saturday night, which was insane, but forced me to roleplay in a way completely out of character. Yeah, I will say this as well, because as I discovered on the Saturday, not everyone is okay with that sort of roleplay. Because I spiked someone in my hall who, it turns out, they started to be okay with it, but the more they thought about it, the less comfortable they were with it. So, understandable. And we had a little chat, and I've said I won't do it again.
Well, so it goes back to what we said at the start with the sort of mob actions. Is I always think that if there's anything you wouldn't want to do or have happen to you in day to day, checking in is not, someone's not going to go home and go, "I can't believe that person asked me if it was okay to do this thing, and that really ruined my whole event." Just check in.
It's amazing. Like everything comes back to consent. Isn't it?
So that's important.
Exactly. So, but that's where we are. So, I think we'll finish on 2 things. So, first of all, I have to say, due to me bowing to peer pressure from a lot of people around me, I've put up a birthday stuff thing because it was my birthday a week and a bit ago. So, there is a PayPal link in the Discord because, I shouldn't even say this, but there's a link in the Discord that you can put money into. It will get put up there, and all of that. So, yeah, if I get something, I get something. If I don't, then I don't really mind. I also had a chat with Claire, who does a lot of stuff for PD. There's a very exciting behind-the-scenes project that I'm going to be getting involved with as well. So that's going to be cool, so look out for that. But what we'll finish with, on a positive, on a good note from Mr. the Biffer with the beard, what has been your best moment with your now deceased character? What has been the highlight of playing him?
That is an absolutely massive question because I've interacted with so many fantastic people, like from every nation. But the Marchers really is such a community base that it's impossible to work out a point that it really worked. But honestly,
it's in self promo, Scott. Sorry, it's in self promo. I should have probably said that.
You're buying me time to have a think. I think it's probably. I want to say the Bushel Sykes encounter tent was a high point. That was such a massive chunk of plot, and I got to have a very large part of that, considering my character was the only representative in Anvil of House Fisher.
Yeah.
When Matilda Fisher was assaulted by General Tomothy, I was there for that, and that was an immensely emotional bit. But do you know what? I think my high point, my memory, the thing that has affected me the most was actually this event.
Yeah.
And it is about my character, but I wasn't playing my character. On Saturday night, our egregore Iron Jack took me aside, and he went, after everything that's happened, this is probably about it's getting close to time out at this point. It's about half midnight, 1 in the morning.
Mm.
And he takes me aside and he goes, after everything that's happened, I'll get you a drink. Come have a drink with me, and we'll have a chat about the future. And I was like, okay, sure. He took me up, and on the way past, we passed a big wassail fire outside our community hall. There's a huge fire pit.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, hang on a second. I've got my poppet, a little rag doll that we make for ourselves. And every wassail, at the end of the year, once you've gathered in your harvest, you burn your poppets as a sign of, that's the end of the year, that's my toil for the year done. Now I can rest and rest on my labours. You burn your poppets, you make a new one for the next year, and you have it on you as a sign of your sort of hard work and dedication. He's like, right, completely forgotten, haven't burnt my poppet. Will you burn it with me? I was like, absolutely. We walk up to this huge brazier, and it's made of rope, his poppet. He throws it in, and just as the fire catches the poppet and starts to burn, a freeborn comes up next to us and goes, I'm terribly sorry, can I ask you a question? And our egregore turns around, and he's a wonderful, wonderful role player, excellent chap, has always been the most jovial and light-hearted man, and he turns around and goes, no, you can't. 1 minute, and then I'll answer your question, but no. And the three of us stand there and watch this poppet burn, and he says, egregore says, the wheel keeps turning as 1 year comes to an end. We remember what we've grown and what we've reaped, and we say goodbye to the harvest. We say goodbye to Blackjack, we say goodbye to Aidan Weller, and we say goodbye to Bambrick Fisher. And at this point, I've got my tears are rolling, my shoulders are heaving, and I've got our egregore on one side, and I've got this brass coaster on the other, and the three of us are just staring into the flames in silence while I cry, and we watch this little poppet burn. For probably, it took about 2 minutes for this thing to completely turn to ash. And I take a breath, and I get myself back under control. And our egregore turns to me and turns to the brass coaster and goes, I'm sorry, but I had to do that. Please, ask your question. And this chap looks at me, and he looks into the fire, and looks back at me, and goes, you've answered it. And walks off into the night. And that was the point where I was like, my character is done. I can let it go. That was what did it.
Wow. Mike's hit the nail on the head there. The retelling is nearly making me cry. All the feels. I'm not going to lie. I have a little tear here.
Yeah. It's hard.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. So if you want good roleplay, come to the marches. Just saying, but it's fine.
Other roleplay is available.
Other avenues of roleplay is apparently available. I will be exploring. I'm taking a break from the marches. I'm letting Bambrick Fisher have his moment. Let people, get over it without seeing a big beard walking down the street every 2 seconds. So I'm currently looking for another project, and then if I enjoy it there, fantastic. If not, it's in March or Half Magic to March. I'll just go home. But we'll see what comes up.
It's a big field, and you've got plenty of time.
Big field with a lot of good people. So
yeah,
hopefully I'll meet some more.
Yeah, definitely. I knew this was going to be a good one.
I hope so.
I've had so much fun.
It's been great. Thank you so much for taking the time out to go over things.
Thank you for coming down to see me.
Yeah. Well, I came down to see you on the Saturday night, and what I saw outside the Rowdy Raven was a pint and a board that said in remembrance of Bambrick Fisher, and I turned around and went, "I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I
Yeah,
can't get your lovely bar all wet. No, no, no. I can't cry all over this business."
you're good.
I saw it.
It's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful to chat to you about this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I'm not just saying that either. It has been genuinely a really good one, and I've been looking forward to talking about this today.
Yeah, it's good fun.
I know we haven't really gone over the hots and nots or anything of the event, but I think we've covered in our news stream at the beginning and the chats, we've gone through the big bits of our games.
That's it. Well, the long dark is very long. If you get bored and run out of people, then I'm sure I can cycle in again if you need me.
Oh, anytime. Anytime.
Don't say that. That's dangerous.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it would be good to... We'll give it a bit of time and we'll go through what you're thinking character-wise.
I'll have to work out what I'm doing next. Yeah.
Yeah, we can... Yeah, we'll have a chat about it. We can go through everything. Sure. So hang about for a second while I get the stream sort of...
No worries. You do your thing,
sorted. Man. We're gonna go and do a raid. He's not streaming. I thought Colton Crawford was going to be streaming.
Yeah.
He must have.
Banjo lessons, man.
Yeah, it must have. He must have finished. Yeah, he must have finished. So, never mind. So I'm not going to raid anyone. I think I'll just call it. I think we've left it on a good moment. Chat, thank you so much for coming along and being part of this. Al, thank you for telling us your story.
Right. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, it's been a great one, really has. And Jack, I promise I will I've uploaded all of my streams. I'm now caught up. I just haven't released them yet. I will get this sorted, I promise, because I'm shit at it. But yeah, everyone in chat, thank you so much, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure. Take care, look after yourselves, have a good night. Any issues with anybody during the long dark, I'm only a DM away, don't forget that. Take care, see you soon.